So let's just settle into our meditation posture. We're a little bit behind, and just try and ground yourself, try and bring yourself to center. And just feel the feet on the floor. You can feel the toe pads, soles of the feet, the heels, the outside of the arches. And imagine your ankles and your legs, the weight. And just be on your sits bones. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And just lengthen the spine. And imagine your ears are aligned with your shoulders. Just imagine you're growing a little bit taller. And just bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the head, back of the neck. Allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest and the belly and the limbs. And bring the mind again to the breath. Just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And then just notice if there's any sounds in your environment. Just allow those sounds to be there. So try not to follow them with the mind. And then notice what's arising in the mind. And then just try not to judge the thoughts that are arising. You can categorize them if you wish. I'm thinking, this is an angry thought. Just notice what's there. Try and be objective about what you're seeing. And then just watch that river. We're sitting on the bank of the river and just watch it flow on by and notice the quality of the water. And just sit there and meditate for a minute. I just have to turn off a fan. Hang on 1 second. And just notice that while you're sitting on the bank of that river, you're free from that river. Then bring to mind all the people of our life, our loved ones, the ones we don't or feel a bit awkward around, and then there's our strangers, keeping in mind they can change place at any time. This friend, this enemy, this stranger. And then think of all these people as equal. They all have a wish to be happy and a wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So just think there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is, basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind so we can equally create positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret. You sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And just think specifically of actions of your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all the ones you can't remember. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of this future suffering that we ourselves will experience. We know from our present suffering you don't want it. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want their future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we rely upon the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. So no, we're not wanting Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for a higher power. So we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his method. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because they will suffer as a result of the harm they've done to you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mempi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida me boa, sitokaya me boa, sipokaya me boa, anurakta me boa, sawasiti me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawatata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata ahum pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, dida me boa, sitokaya me boa, sipokaya me boa, anurakta me boa, sawasiti me piyatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of the speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all our inappropriate speech, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So next is the purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on that switch. The light in the room instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of the mind, all the attachment and neediness and anger and violence and depression and anxiety, resentment, jealousy, bitterness and grudges, it's all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, just imagine they're completely purified, they're totally gone. And imagine there's now no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajamami Mutsa Vajabhawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Bhajasapa Samaya Manupalaya Bhajasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajamami Mutsa Vajabhawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Bhajasapa Samaya Manupalaya Bhajasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajamami Mutsa Vajabhawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Bhajasapa Samaya Manupalaya Bhajasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajamami Mutsa Vajabhawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth step in our purification process. And we have a little bit of time, so we can do a couple of minutes of meditation. So this is really crucial, this determination we make to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind, and that includes towards ourselves. So first of all, just rejoice in your efforts. Some of you, it's been almost 3 years. Look back and see any changes that may have occurred. And really own the progress you're making. It's your hard work. And then think of something that you're working on now, you would like to continue to work on. And maybe imagine what your world would look like if you could change that particular habit. And this determination to not do again is what gives us strength to change. So now imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next to, the precious Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on the emptiness to seal the merit so the merit doesn't get destroyed by anger or anything. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand this concept, this idea of emptiness, place your mind there for a moment. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for those of you who have, Alexis, could you put everybody back? Thank you. Everybody who, if you have a teacher, so think of for His Holiness Dalai Lama to have an extremely long life, and then for swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then for any of your own personal teachers to have a long, long life. And then also think specifically of all the people in Maui, on Maui Island in Hawaii, who are going through such a difficult time right now, and all their families, and just make strong prayers for Susan's sister-in-law, Pam, so they find her, and that she's healthy and alive. Just kind of disappeared for a few days. Okay, everybody, lots of love, and I will see some of you tomorrow morning. Okay, take care. Thank you very much. 7 a.m. Okay, bye, everyone. Bye.